From running into walls to fighting against a guy whose name no one mentions.
We do not speak his name.
This is the story of the boy who lived. So what you're telling me is that he's the literal definition of every boy who has, checks notes, lived? Got it. And much like any fantasy story, he's an orphan because the genre absolutely hates parents. To top it off, his meanie head uncle and aunt treat him like trash and force him to live under the staircase. Are you kidding me? He pretty much has a New York studio apartment all to himself. What more could a kid want?
Yeah, he'd have been straight into an orphanage if he'd been dumped on my doorstep, running.
Now, of course, there's something special about Harry, because no one would want to watch a film about a regular 10-year-old boy who eats boogers and is obsessed with action figures. One of his magical talents is communicating with snakes. Undoubtedly, it's a skill that'll help him deal with lawyers and corporate employees in the future. Around this time, we find out that Harry's been watched for many years by an old man who's always wearing a bathrobe. Because, yeah, that isn't creepy at all. And he starts to receive letters from owls, presumably because all the pigeons were preoccupied and couldn't do deliveries. Also, why hasn't anyone heard of post offices in this story? Then, this humongous stranger appears out of nowhere. Stranger danger alert! And informs Harry that he needs to go to magic school.
You're a wizard, Harry.
This was a time before distance learning or online courses. It's also revealed that Harry's parents were magicians, but they were obviously terrible at it because they couldn't even do card tricks. Oh, and he finds out there's some evil wizard dude after him, but no one wants to mention his name. Well, that's helpful, because how's he supposed to know who to avoid then? So anyway, Harry's bags are packed and he's off to magic school now because he buys all this BS and child services must have been on a smoke break. At the train station, he's told that he needs to, get this, run through a wall to get to another platform. Honestly, that kind of explains what happens afterwards. Since this kid was probably knocked out and in hospital somewhere, hallucinating this whole adventure. Incredibly, Harry arrives at this school called Hogwarts. Sadly, there were no pigs or warts immediately visible. Oh, and he's suddenly got new friends. Some ginger kid who looks like Ed Sheeran, and this bushy-haired bossy girl who has a mean streak in her.
Oh, are you doing magic? Let's see then.
He also meets his first adversary, this blonde-haired motormouth who appears to be the origin story for Eminem. Seriously, this little dude has quick wit and some sick burns in him. Really loved his future collab with Rihanna. Apparently, Harry loves the way you lie too. Anyway, back to this magic school. So there's a hat. Yes, a hat that apparently tells you which house you belong to. Basically, everyone is hearing voices in their head, and this is accepted as gospel. Also, why in the world is Slytherin even an option if they only allow evil peeps into it? Why are these people in the school in the first place? The house has literally got such a bad rap, but it's still presented as a possibility. Doesn't seem like this magic school has any of the kids' well-being at heart here. Then there are the teachers. Well, forget about learning helpful things like maths or science, because these peeps only specialize in magic.
There'll be no need to talk.
There's all sorts and types around, but it sounds like they're trying to turn the students into child soldiers with classes like Defense Against the Dark Arts. And they're particularly rubbish at their jobs too, since they can't even cure Harry's eyesight, leaving him to wear glasses for his whole life. One teacher in particular stands out for his villainous traits and ominous presence: Snape. He looks an awful lot like the Hans Gruber character who tried to blow up the Nakatomi Plaza in Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And the endless exposition reveals that no one trusts him either, and suspects he might be secretly working for the guy whose name you're not supposed to know. Seriously, what is this person's name already? With all the world building done, now it's time for the actual plot. Like every fantasy story, there's a MacGuffin here, an object that someone needs to get to move the plot forward. In this case, it's a stone. Yes. Seriously, a stupid stone. Why couldn't they have just gone outside and picked up a rock here? Well, this fancy schmancy stone belongs to some really old guy and has the power to grant immortality. Because, yeah, everyone wants to live forever and pay taxes. Naturally, Harry and his friends find out about this stone and that it's hidden in Hogwarts. Great. So why the hell is this invaluable stone locked up in a school and not somewhere else safer? You know, where kids aren't around to break it.
Bloody hell, Harry.
But that's not all. They're also told exactly what's guarding it. A three-headed poodle or something. And everything they need to do to get to it. Then they're told not to do it. Come on, this is like putting a giant red button in a room and telling people not to push it. Of course, the kids defy the rules and try to find the stupid stone, believing they need to save the world from Snape and that other nameless guy. Also, can anyone explain what's up with all the trolls, dangerous staircases, and forbidden forests hanging around the school? This doesn't sound like a particularly safe environment for children. When Harry and his friends finally find the damn stone, the big plot twist arrives. Like a reveal out of Scooby-Doo, the villain isn't who they thought it would be. It was Quirrell the whole time, and he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those pesky kids. And finally, Harry actually meets the nameless guy, and suddenly everyone isn't afraid to call him Voldemort anymore. Okay. But the good guys win, and the bad guys slink away, ready to fight another day. Hooray! The children are lauded as heroes, even though their lives were put in the kind of danger they should have never experienced in the first place. Plus, there's the mandatory conversation promising the future. In other words, the sequel will reveal more. Gotta love franchises, right? Need some more Harry Potter humor in your life? Then check out our video featuring the best bloopers and funny moments from the series. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.